On December 1st, 2025, Senator Bernie Moreno introduced a bill called the Exclusive Citizenship Act Bill of 2025. If this bill passes, it will outlaw dual citizenship, affecting millions of people living abroad. Let's take a look at this and how crazy this is. This may be one of the most important videos I've ever made because it affects so many people in a negative way if this passes. A senator from Ohio named Senator Bernie Moreno has put out a new plan, a bill that he wants to get passed that would end dual citizenship. Yes, that's right, an end of your dual citizenship. It would force anyone with dual citizenship to choose between the two countries, either the United States or the country that you're currently moved to and living in. It says an individual may not be a citizen or national of the United States while simultaneously possessing any foreign citizenship. The bill is called the Exclusive Citizenship Act of 2025. It would establish that citizens of the United States shall owe sole and exclusive allegiance to the United States according to the text within the bill. So what this comes down to is that you can't be a U.S. citizen and also have dual citizenship from another country. You would have to choose one or the other. There's approximately 5.7 million Americans that live abroad that may have dual citizenship. If this bill is enacted, a U.S. citizen who is also a foreign citizen must submit a written letter getting rid of their foreign citizenship within 1 year of the time of the bill passing. And if they don't do this within that year, they will automatically be deemed to be voluntarily relinquishing their United States citizenship. The bill further goes on to say that any U.S. citizen who voluntarily acquires a foreign citizenship after this new law is enacted shall automatically relinquish their United States citizenship. The bill would require the Secretary of State to create regulations and procedures and verification and record keeping for exclusive citizenship to coordinate with the Attorney General and the Secretary of Homeland Security to ensure that any individual deemed to have relinquished citizenship can be removed as a U.S. citizen. So what does this mean for people that are living abroad that have dual citizenship? Like if you've moved to Portugal or Italy or Spain or France or Panama or anywhere. It's not a good thing. You would either need to move back to the United States to keep your citizenship or stay in the country that you're in, and then you would lose your citizenship. You would also lose your Social Security benefits and all kinds of other benefits, like pensions and so on, because you would no longer be a U.S. citizen. So if this bill passes and you've purchased a home in another country and you're moved there and are living there, you would basically have 1 year to sell your house and move back to the United States or lose your citizenship and Social Security that you might be living on. Now, if you're someone who's very rich and you're not living off Social Security and you don't need to be a U.S. citizen, this might not affect you in a bad way without any big financial issues. But I think this would also cause problems for people who have investments in the United States. For example, if you have investments in real estate to get different tax breaks in the United States, you may lose all these tax benefits because you would no longer be a U.S. citizen. We don't know exactly how this would affect everything, but you may be required to even close different bank accounts because you're no longer a U.S. citizen, and maybe need to open up a different type of bank account in the U.S. as a foreigner because you're no longer a citizen. Just imagine how this would affect the whole industry all around the world of different businesses that help people move from the U.S. to different countries. Many lawyers in different countries rely a lot on the business they get from Americans moving to their country. Same with different relocation services, shipping services, and more. What would happen to the housing market in each country? Could you imagine every American that needs to be moving back to the U.S. trying to sell their house within 1 year in every country outside of the United States? This would probably create a gigantic housing crash, and you probably would only get pennies on the dollar for your house that you need to sell because there won't be any more Americans moving to other countries. So you would have a much lower value of your house when you go to sell it. In some countries, they may look at this as being a good thing, getting rid of all the Americans and lowering the housing costs so now their own people in each country could afford a more affordable housing. So this is something that anyone that's living outside of the United States with dual citizenship or is planning to move out of the United States to get dual citizenship really needs to start watching. We need to see what's going to happen with this bill. Could this bill really pass? Or even if it doesn't pass as it is, could it be changed a little bit and then passed still to end dual citizenship as we know it now? For me and my wife, we're in the process of selling everything we own, getting ready to put our house up for sale as we're planning our move. This would be devastating for us. We've been planning this move now for many years, waiting for us to fully go into retirement, which we've now started, and we're both on our Social Security now, getting ready to move. We've already sold half the things we own and are looking forward to moving. So what do you think the chances are of this bill passing? I can only hope that it does not pass and has no chance. This is kind of crazy to me to think that someone would even put something like this forward. Some of the things to think about would be, is this a violation of our 14th Amendment? Under the 14th Amendment, a U.S. citizen can't lose their citizenship unless he or she willingly surrenders it. So if this bill was to pass, that would be a direct conflict of the 14th Amendment, would it not? But with all the crazy things going on nowadays, who knows what's going to happen? The senator himself is from the country of Colombia and became a U.S. citizen. He gave up his Colombian citizenship just for American citizenship. So now he wants all Americans to give up any dual citizenship they have to other countries. I will put a link in the bottom of this video text area straight to his website, and you can see a link where you can read the whole complete bill for yourself. This bill was just put forward on December 1st. So what are your thoughts on this? Leave that in the comments below. Is this crazy, insane, or what? Do you think this will pass? I sure hope it doesn't. If this passes and you're living outside of the U.S., how would this dramatically affect you and your family? For us, we're not even moved out of the U.S. yet, and this would be affecting us very dramatically. I see some stories pointing out that even Donald Trump, the President of the United States, would be affected because his wife would lose her dual citizenship and also his son, Barron Trump. So with that being pointed out, you would just have to imagine how many other people have their wives or some of their children with dual citizenship working or investing in other countries that this bill would affect. So that's my short, shocking video for today, that I hope this bill does not pass or even come close to passing or even be changed into a new different bill that might pass. Thanks for watching. We're working on a lot more content on the way, so please subscribe to the channel to see more and to keep up with our moving plans that I hope we're still able to do once this bill, we hope, is crushed. So that's it for today, and I'll see you next time.